Welcome to Unit 4 Vocabulary. We have very interesting words this time. So let's check the first one together, which is vegan. Now let's listen to the word from the dictionary.
Vegan.
Vegan.
Vegan. Okay, so vegan is a person who does not eat or use any animal products such as meat, fish, cheese, eggs, and so on. So you can say one of my friends is a vegan. So this word is a noun and it's countable. Another word that you can use is vegetarian, which is similar to this word, but it's a person who does not eat meat for health or religious reasons or because they want to avoid being cruel to animals. Let's listen to the second word we have.
Atheist.
Atheist.
Atheist. Atheist is someone who does not believe that God exists. We have another word that is similar in the meaning, but let's first listen to it from the dictionary. We need to get used to using the dictionary for pronunciation.
Agnostic.
Agnostic.
Agnostic is someone who does not believe in God or who believes it's impossible to know if God exists or not. So you could hear the word atheist or the word agnostic. So atheist, he does not believe in God, but agnostic, he does not believe in nor disbelieve in the existence of God. Let's listen to another word we have.
Teetotaler. Teetotal.
Teetotal, which is the adjective. Teetotaler is the noun. So this is the person who does not drink alcohol or he believes that it is wrong. He is or she is opposing the idea of drinking alcohol. Do you have a problem in sleeping and it's very difficult for you to sleep at night? Let's listen to this word to know how can you describe this.
Insomniac.
Insomniac.
Insomniac is a person who finds it very difficult to sleep, and usually they stay up all night after midnight thoughts. We have also this really nice word, and you could see it in some educational tackling topics movies and some Indian movies, like the word dyslexia. And dyslexia is the difficulty in reading and writing caused by the brain's being unable to see the difference between some letter shapes. So if someone is dyslexic or they have dyslexia, the person has dyslexia. So most probably they see the letters in the other way around. Let's listen to the word in the dictionary.
Dyslexia. Dyslexic.
Pacifism.
Pacifism.
Pacifist.
Pacifist.
So if someone believes that war is wrong and fighting in war is wrong, he is or she is a pacifist.
Naturist.
Naturist is a person who sometimes believes in the idea that he or she shouldn't be wearing clothes. If you remember the movie Zootopia, they were showing this idea with some of the animals, if you remember that part in the movie. So this is a naturist.
Antisocial.
Antisocial. This is an adjective to describe either something that is harmful to the society. For example, if someone is showing antisocial behavior, or smoking is regarded as an antisocial habit. But also, it could mean someone who avoids spending time with other people. For example, I hope they won't think I am antisocial if I don't join them in the bar or anywhere. A diehard supporter is someone who's unwilling to change or give up their ideas or ways of behaving, even when there are good reasons to do so. For example, he is a diehard conservative, or he is a diehard fan to a certain club that always loses in the matches.
Frantically.
Frantically.
Frantically It means to do something in a hurried way and in a state of excitement or confusion. I have been working frantically all week to get it finished on time. I got home to find Lara frantically searching for her keys. So you can also use it to say that in a way that is almost out of control because of extreme emotion, such as worry. As the helicopter flew overhead, they waved frantically, trying to attract its attention.
Glisten.
Glisten.
Glisten, and the T here is silent if you remember a word like glisten. So glisten, to shine by reflecting light from a wet, oily, or smooth surface. So the grass glistened in the early morning dew. His eyes glistened with tears, like in the water here. Like it's shining from the reflect of something. The glistening treasure, for example, like when we are going to read in the unit.
Scalding.
Scalding.
Scalding, if a liquid is scalding, it's extremely hot. For example, scalding tea or scalding hot water. Or if you use it to mean criticism, if criticism is scalding, it's very strong or violent. Like he wrote a scolding criticism about her latest novel.
Scar.
Scar.
Scar, it means to have or leave a scar, like being hurt so much, like he was scarred as a result of the fire, to leave a trace either in your body or in your heart. So you can say his experience in the army left him scarred for life. So it means that he had a serious mental effect on him for the rest of his life. So you can use it either to mean physically or emotionally hurt while leaving a trace.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy, it means when people secretly plan together to do something bad or illegal. So the three men are accused of conspiracy. She has been charged with conspiracy to murder. I think there was a conspiracy to keep me out of the committee. If you said conspiracy of silence, it means that we have a general agreement to keep silent about a subject for the purpose of secrecy. Conspiracy theory, I'm sure you heard about this one. You can say that it's the belief that an unpleasant event or situation is the result of a secret plan made by powerful people. Breed is to keep animals for the purpose of producing young animals in a controlled way. So you can say, for example, his main income comes from breeding cattle. You could also use breed to cause something to happen, usually something bad. For example, favoritism breeds resentment. So favoritism here, it's like when you select people simply because you know them for work, instead of choosing people who are qualified, for example, which is different from the term networking. Networking is usually something good, positive, but favoritism is something negative.
Farce.
Farce.
The word farce, it means a movie or a film which they are humorous and the characters become involved in an unlikely situations, or the style of writing or acting in this type of play, or a silly or meaningless situation or action. For example, we can say no one had prepared anything, so the meeting was a bit of a farce. Or if you remember that movie, it's an example for farce movies.
Fiendish.
Fiendish.
Do you remember the word sinister? We have another word that is similar in the meaning, which is fiendish, and it's evil or cruel. For example, a fiendish attack, or clever and difficult, sometimes in a bad way. So this is like a fiendish crossword, or they created a fiendish plot or scheme. Or if you heard it in an old-fashioned play or something, you can say that the meaning is very great, like a fiendish price, or a fiendish hurry.
Hoax.
Hoax.
Hoax means a plan to deceive someone, such as telling the police there is a bomb somewhere when there is not one, or to trick someone. So the bomb threat turned out to be a hoax. He's made a hoax call claiming to be the president. Do you know this kind of messages? If you share this message with how many people, you will get something in return. So that was a hoax message.
Hatch.
Hatch.
Hatch is to cause a break in an egg in order to allow the animal to come out. For example, the eggs hatched. Or to make a plan, especially a secret plan. So you can say it was in August of 1978 that the Bolton brothers hatched their plot to kill their parents. Very bad and scary, sinister sentence. Hatch also, it could be an opening through a wall or floor or the cover for it. For example, this is an escape hatch.
Arbitrary.
Arbitrary.
Arbitrary, it means based on chance rather than being planned or based on reason. For example, they just have an arbitrary decision-making strategy. Or what guided your choice of destination? Or was it arbitrary? You could also use it with the meaning of unfair. For example, using unlimited personal power without considering other people's wishes. For example, he is or she is an arbitrary ruler. The company has been the subject of an arbitrary takeover.
Mundane.
Mundane.
Mundane, very ordinary, and therefore not interesting. So mundane matters such as paying bills and shopping for food do not interest her.
Alleged. Alleged.
Alleged. So said or thought by some people to be the stated bad or illegal thing, although you have no proof. So for example, it took 15 years for the alleged criminals to prove their innocence. So here it's people who are thought to be criminals. So technically they are innocent until proven otherwise or to be proven guilty. That's where he allegedly killed his wife.
Lousy.
The word lousy, it means very bad. So for example, we had a lousy service in that restaurant, or I had a lousy weekend. So instead of saying I had a very bad weekend, you can say I had a lousy weekend, or I feel lousy. It means very ill. So I'm going to go home. Or all he offered me was a lousy 20 pounds, like a small amount of money. You're describing this as something bad or something too small.
Stunning.
Stunning.
Stunning, which is extremely beautiful or attractive, like this picture here, or she was wearing a stunning dress, or that was a stunning view. Or when you want to say that something was really shocking or impressive. So all the ideas have a stunning simplicity.
Array.
Array.
What's the meaning of the word array? So it's a large group of things or people, especially one which is attractive or causes admiration, and often one which has not positioned in a particular way. For example, there was a splendid array of food on the table. Like this is an array of cookies, for example, and they look really delicious. They sat before an array of microphones and cameras. So when you arrange a group of things in a particular way, a large number of magazines were arrayed on the stand. Arrayed before him were 40 school children in purple and green. So it means that they were standing in a group. Or when you arrange a group of soldiers in a position for fighting.